Vehemence podcast. It's your host, Deasia, back again, and today I have a very special guest.
Hello, I'm Kayla Mitchell. I'm from Murray State. I'm the graduate assistant here for the women's basketball program, and I'm happy to be on here today.
Okay, so my first question is where did you recently graduate from?
I recently graduated from UCA. I got my degree in psychology and a minor in health education. I played basketball there for a year, and yeah, I had a great time there.
Okay, so with you playing basketball, my very first question is when do you remember picking up a basketball?
Man, I think I kind of started late, but I started in the fourth grade. I remember signing up and taking some YMCA papers to my mom, and I was like, I want to get in sports, and my sister did too. So me and my sister first started playing volleyball, and she excelled in it, and I was like, "Yep, this is not for me." And then I signed up for basketball when that came around, and I just remember playing in the fourth grade, and that's what really sparked me my love and joy for the game.
Okay. So after that, in like middle school and stuff, when was a point of time where it clicked in your brain that you could be really good and play at a high level?
It really clicked for me right around like that seventh, eighth grade year. My seventh grade year, I was able to play up and got a lot of minutes. Sometimes playing with the ninth graders, being on varsity. And then when I reached the eighth grade, I remember my last game, how my coach was really telling me like, "Hey, you have really good potential." And I remember when I met my trainer, I remember him walking up to my mom and he was like, asking about me and everything. And he was like, he watched a lot of my games and really wanted to train me, and that's when it really sparked like, man, I can be really good, like I can take this to the next level. And that's kind of when I
So,
knew.
so you were playing varsity in eighth grade.
Yes, I started for varsity when I was an eighth grader. I played up, yeah, I played in ninth grade when I was in seventh grade.
So how was that playing with people that were so much older than you? Did they like welcome you, or was it kind of difficult? Like she's so young playing varsity. How was that experience?
Yeah, they were very accepting of me. A lot of them really took me under their wings and really kind of showed me like, look, like you are good, but let me kind of teach your ways, because I was young. I was very, didn't really know the game as far as the IQ. I just was athletic, and I was very my defense was my bread and butter, so I was able to get under people in a way that they didn't like it. And so that's where my passion really stemmed from, and I just let my offensive game come. But no, it was very, like, it was very accepting. I was able to really kind of pick up quick, and that's when I was in eighth grade. I knew I could take it for real, and I was starting.
So after that, when you actually went to high school, what high school did you go to? If you're okay with that question.
Yes, I went to Jonesboro High School. It's one of the best high schools in Arkansas. Um, I believe I was when I was in ninth grade, I was able to move up as well to play for my high school, because in Arkansas, high school is considered 10th through 12th grade, which most schools do ninth through 12th. But we're still a school that's considered like 10th through 12th grade. So when I was in the ninth grade, I was able to move up and was able to be a part of the first women's basketball state championship at that school. So that was a blessing as well.
So what year did you win the state championship?
My ninth grade year, and then I also won in my 11th grade year.
So your first experience of winning your national championship. Can you walk me through a little bit of that season and how it led up to that?
Well, okay, so I can say at the beginning of my ninth grade year, like I said, this is still considered like junior high. So I was not with the high school yet. It was kind of nerve wracking because that's when you get to see like the boxing ones and all those different things. So I was just kind of like frustrated, trying to play through those things. And then I was talking with my mom, and I was like, I wonder if that coach is going to pull me up. And I remember her coming to one of my games, and I didn't have a good game, and we was playing like a tough opponent. And I remember after that game, I told my mom, like, she's not gonna pull me up. She ain't gonna do it. And my mom was like, no, have some faith. It'll come. Just play it through. And I remember at the end of my ninth grade year, my coach came up to me and he gave me a new schedule. And I'm like, why is basketball, last period or something like that? Because we had basketball first period in junior high. So I'm like, why is it last period now? And he was like, you're getting a chance to move up. And I was just like, I was just like, wow, like I was just so happy. And so I remember
Mhm.
my first practice I came in, she stopped the practice and she told the team, like, hey, this is a ninth grade I'm pulling up. I think she can help us and all that different stuff. And they really welcomed me.
Mhm.
And I remember my first, I got to play a few games with them before we got to the state tournament and everything. Um, so we were definitely underdogs. And I remember my first game, I didn't really see as much minutes, but I was able to play a little bit and get my feet wet. I think I might have scored maybe 2 or 4 points, not that many points. But I remember the second one, I played a lot more and I got like 8 points, like back to back to back, and I was ninth grader, like laying it up, and I was in everybody's face because I wasn't scared, and that's when they was like, okay, she's for real. And I just felt welcome every then. And then the third game we were able to win and then won the state championship. It was amazing. Just not for me, but the team and the coach to be able to be the first one. So it was really a blessing, and it was just amazing.
So your coach, that was her first ever championship, and
Mhm.
you were able to do that your freshman year. So then your
Mhm.
10th grade year, you didn't win,
Mm-mm.
but the 11th grade year, you did win. What was the difference between your freshman year winning the state championship and 11th grade winning the state championship?
So my freshman year, like I said, we were very much underdogs. People didn't really believe in us that much. We were moving into like a bigger conference. And so they were really worried about how we would, play against bigger competitions. And so we were just really scrappy. We had a lot of heart, a lot of fight. It was very much senior led. So you can imagine me being this small ninth grader, moving up. But like I said, they really took me under their wing. They knew I could help them. And so they really believed in me. And so that was really the difference maker. Like I still talk to my coach about, and I asked her like, she believed the difference was. And like my 11th grade year, we were very skilled. We was very talented. I think I played with two guards that played in the SEC. That was in my on my team. I played with a lot of people that just had different skills, and we all just complemented each other well. And we were very skilled offensively, and we was just able to score more than people. And so that's really what the difference was between the team. Like the first team had a lot of hunger and fight, but my 11th grade year, we were very much just skilled. And so, we were able to really do, whatever we kind of wanted to.
Okay. So now, after your 11th grade year, you're in your 12th grade year. It's like a recruitment process. Can you tell me a little
hmm
bit about your experience with the recruitment process going into college?
I mean, my recruitment process was rather different. I was receiving a lot of mail at that time. I played for some of the top AU teams out of Arkansas with the Arkansas Banshees and the Arkansas Woods. I'm still very close with my AU coaches to this day. They helped me a lot throughout the process. So I had some good coaches to help me out, especially with my high school coach as well. Um, a lot of local teams kind of were on me, but nobody really pulled the trigger. And I remember my 11th grade year, UCA was my first offer, and then like maybe a month later, I got an offer from Lamar University, where I went to at first. But they were really on me hard, and then some other schools kind of came in late. But I really kind of wanted to get out of Arkansas a little bit, so I chose to go
Mhm.
to off to Lamar in Texas, where I played, like I said, my first 3 years. And so I just was, it's just rather different. People, kind of thought that I was too short. They didn't really kind of believe my offensive game was just there. So I was kind of stuck in that mid major, but D2s, they didn't want to offer me because they knew I was too good for that. But, the higher D1s thought I was too short, or like I said, my offensive game. So I really just had to prove myself. I worked out a lot, really put in a whole bunch of hours, and it still paid off. I was able to play D1 basketball, which I dreamed of since I was started.
So, what is some advice that you would give to younger kids about the recruitment process?
My advice would be to just kind of run your own race. You know, follow your own journey. It's easy to look to your teammate, or somebody in your AAU pool or whatever, and think like, man, they're getting this. I'm not getting anything or whatever. But it's always best to find the right fit for yourself and always best to just run your own race. Continue to put in the work, and just know as long as you put the work in, it will pay off.
Okay. Now, you got to Lamar your
Mhm.
freshman year. What was your experience like your freshman year?
My freshman year, I kind of got thrown into the fire pretty early on. I started my first freshman game. I remember we played Oklahoma State, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is what college is!" Like it was, the game was so fast. But my freshman year, it was definitely like a transition. Not being able to used to having nobody tell you like, "Hey, you got to get up in the morning and go to class." Like you have to be responsible for all your time management and stuff, and it's hard. Having maybe two, 3 classes a day, and then you got weights and practice and study hall. So it's a lot to adjust, but I was able to um, do it and just really kind of thrive in that moment. And I think I had a good freshman year, but I was able to really grow and learn. Like, man, like, this is tough. It's D1 for a reason. And so that's what I really just try to preach to my freshmen and my girls now. Like, it's a process. It's not easy, but once you get past the hump, you're able, sophomore year, you get better, junior year, you're able to get into the flow of like how college really is.
So then after that, what are some lessons from your freshman year that you took into your sophomore year to make you be more successful?
Really to just have patience with myself, know that I'm growing, know that, it's gonna be obstacles, but you gotta find a way to be persistent and consistent, which what I'm really just try to throughout my whole life is just to be consistent daily. And like every year I just continue to get better, with it. Sometimes I had struggled, but I was able to, okay, let me calm down, let me figure out how to work through this situation. And that's what like I said, try to teach to my student athletes now, is just to be persistent and consistent with whatever you're doing, and it's gonna, like I said, pay off.
So then your junior year, that was right before you transferred again.
Hmm.
What like thought process was it to make you come to the decision of, okay, I want to go back home?
Really to get my family to be able to watch me. That was my biggest thing. Like, Lamar was 8 hours from my house, so you can imagine me being homesick, having to be away from my family as much as I was being able to sacrifice. And so, they sacrificed, enough not being able to see me. So I really wanted to go back home for them to be able to watch my games and experience me, being close to them.
Okay. Then you go to University of Central Arkansas. In
Mhm.
your experience there, how did you end off your senior year?
Um, the ending of my senior year kind of didn't really go as I wanted. Even though I had a great time, I had some great teammates, great coaches. I just somewhat just I really kind of struggled with the game a little bit. And so I didn't really end up like how I really wanted to. But like I said, that's why now I'm do what I do, so I can let, seniors and just anybody around me know, like, this is a precious game, cherish it. Yeah, it's gonna be ups and downs, but continue to play. And then when you're all said and done, you know, you want to go out with like, okay, I had fun, I enjoyed it, I got every little bit out of it. And so that's why I just continue to go into the coaching, because I feel like I'm not done yet. This sport has given me so much, and so I'm just dedicated to give back. And that's why it's like, even though situations, don't necessarily go as planned, it's just like, okay, how can I pick myself back up and continue to thrive in different situations until it's finally, I'm done with saying like, okay, I gave it my all.
So you did have a COVID year, didn't you?
Yes,
So what made you not choose your COVID year to pick your
my
COVID
body.
year?
My body definitely was telling me like, hey, it's time to be done. Every so often I jump into having to do something for scout or practice with the girls here, and my body is like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? I forget to stretch and act like I'm still young, like I can jump out there. But really just my body just, being very fatigued, and just, like I said, pouring so much into it. Now I'm trying to just pour into it another way. But yeah, my body was like, yeah, you want to be done.
Understood. At what point in time during your senior season or throughout college did you like come to the terms that you wanted to be a coach?
I would say right at the end of my senior year, I kind of figured out like this is what I wanted to do next. I knew that I wanted to help the next generation. of student athletes in college, with anything dealing with basketball, mental, physical, all of the, just school, anything that's going to help them thrive. And so I knew that that's when I really wanted to go into coaching.
So how did you end up at Maury State now?
I ended up at Murray State through my AAU coach. He knew that I wanted to be a graduate assistant, and so he was helping me out throughout like the application process and everything like that. He told me about Murray State, and I also know a girl that went here that's from also Jonesboro, and so he sent me the coach's email or something, and I sent her my resume, and I told the girl like, hey, can you put in a good word for me? And he did too, and so through that I was able to have an interview, and they really loved me, and then boom, I'm here now on the staff.
So how has it been? It's been basically like 6 months of you being a
Mhm.
coach. What are some of the differences of being a player to a coach?
It's crazy. It's like unreal how much coaches really pour into it. Being a student athlete, you just kind of get up, you go to weights, you go to practice, you go to these meetings, and you just like, man, this is tough. But man, think about the coaches that has to coordinate the meeting, coordinate the practice. What we're gonna practice on the day, the scout, the film. It's a lot that really go into it that I just have a different like kind of sympathy for my coaches. Like after once I got this job, I went back to most of my coaches and just really thanked them because this is tough, like every day you have to come in to the office, put in work, film, whatever is needed. But I really enjoyed because I just love helping with basketball. That's just my pride and joy.
So after you do a grad assistant, what are your future
Mhm.
plans? Do you want to become, do you want to stay at the collegiate level? Do you want to go down a level to help kids? What does that look like for you?
I really want to stay at the collegiate level. I like helping these type of athletes. I really think about going into sports development, like skill development next.
Mm.
Kind of what I'm doing now without the school part of it, just really focusing on, making the players better one on one, like mentally if they need anything. But that's kind of what I want to do next. But in the long run, I really want to be a sports psychologist.
Hmm. Okay. I was going to say that it's somebody that's on Notre Dame staff, and I forgot what he does. Do you know what I'm talking about? He's specifically like, I think he's a sports player specialist, if that's the
Uh
right
huh.
name.
At the higher up level, those are the kind of like the skills development stuff like that. So I don't
Mhm.
know who from Notre Dame, but that sound about right.
Okay. So,
Hmm.
outside of basketball, what are some
Hmm.
things that you enjoy and that you like to do?
I really like to cook. That's one thing I really kind of started to do. I like to cook a lot. I'm starting to get into reading a lot.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I'm kind of busy most of the time with basketball or I have school, but outside of basketball, honestly, just kind of cooking or working out and reading.
Okay, so now I want to ask you a question. It's kind of like a two-part ish question, but some athletes that I've had on the podcast are no longer playing or about to come to terms with not playing anymore, and they're
Hmm.
having trouble finding themselves. What is some advice that you have for them as far as being able to find yourself outside of basketball or just finding yourself without the ball bouncing?
Hmm. Honestly, I think for me it was just like finding different hobbies. My mom always tell me about, you need to find something to do outside of basketball because it is kind of overwhelming to come to terms like, man, I'm done when this is something you dedicated your whole life to. And so for me, it was just about, okay, let me find different hobbies. Like I said, I started reading, cooking, but also too, like I said, I'm still in the game, but just in a different way. I came to, peace with my playing time and everything, and I don't regret anything from my playing career. I love my playing career. And so now, like I said, I just try to give back by, talking with the girls with whatever they need. And especially like I'm able to share my story and my journey. And so that's the incredible part of kind of like coming to the terms of it, but also knowing like no matter what I'm always connected to the game. So it's even though you're never, you stop playing, you're never away from it really.
Mhm. My next question is, so while you were playing, what are some things that you did to kind of get away from basketball, like for your mental health? Like, what's a mental health day look like for you outside of that?
A mental health thing for me that I really kind of got into is I would like meditate. I did a lot of yoga. I really like hot yoga and stuff like that. That kind of makes me, you know, not worry or anything. What else? I kind of go to church pretty regularly. I'm very spiritual, and so that's kind of helped me, with my mental. That's what I would say.
Okay. Now, my next question is kind of the little fun questions. Who is your top five WNBA players?
Ooh, okay, yeah. I watch a lot of WNBA. I love the WNBA. Man, that's hard. Ron Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Howard. I really like Ron Howard. Kelsey Plum. Oh man, this is. I got so many. Kelsey Plum, Ron Howard. I really like Asia Wilson. Can't go wrong with. I love the whole Aces team. That's my team.
Yes.
Um, yeah, that starting five right there. That's my favorite five, really. Let me think who else I like. Man, what's her name? Arike Agumbawale.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see. Let me see. Mm, who else I like? I like Courtney Williams. I like Courtney Williams, the point guard. She got a nice mid range game.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. And my next question is, while you were playing, what would you say are some of your best attributes? I know you said defense, but what
Hmm.
else?
Defense was my bread and butter. That was one thing. Like I said, I pride myself on. I had a lot of heart on defense. Nobody really wanted me guarding them, and they very much would tell me that. And I just, like I said, I took a lot of pride in that. I really took pride in like getting my teammates open. So I would say assist. Really being that true point guard. That's always been me. I never really cared about offensively scoring. I was mainly about defense and just doing the little things.
What is the furthest place that basketball has taken you? Or where is the furthest place that basketball has taken you?
Man, I done been summer everywhere playing basketball, honestly. I've been to California, I've been to Arizona, I've been to Iowa now. I've been to Minnesota, almost just about every state. I still have yet to go to Florida or New York. So maybe like up north, I have yet to really kind of go all the way yet. But I've been to a lot of places. I'm blessed.
Okay. My next question is, who do you think's gonna be in the final four of the Division Ones?
Ooh, that's a good question. Definitely South Carolina. I love Don Staley. South
Me
Carolina for
too.
sure. Man, it's crazy because the ranked teams beating other ranked teams and this and that, like it's just changing up. At any given day, it's like you got to have your A game or anybody can lose.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta go with South Carolina. I'm thinking. Who else I was thinking? Hmm. Man, this is hard. I think maybe what's that? Maybe Texas.
They
Maybe
do always
Texas.
have a good defense.
Texas having really good defense. I'm thinking NC State. NC State has been playing really well. And I gotta
Nice.
say LSU. I think Angel Reese is really, want to go back to back. So I think LSU. They gave South Carolina the biggest run for their money, so I gotta go with LSU.
Okay.
They good matchup wise.
My next question is, how do you feel about NIL deals now that you're a coach? Like, what's your perspective on them now versus being a player to a coach?
I think they're well deserved. A lot of college athletes, we work hard, and to be able to use your name, image, and likeness is just a plus. And I think it's really, if it's done the right way, I think it's really good. You should get paid. Absolutely. I wish it was a bigger deal. It kind of came around maybe like my junior year, but it's really, really big now. So just seeing like how Angel Reese and everybody get like $2 million, I'm like, congrats to y'all. Get as much as you can. I mean, we work hard. So if you get paid from us, so why not, can we not get paid? So I like it.
If you could coach at anywhere you want to right now, where would you coach at?
Maybe South Carolina. I just would love to be around Dawn Staley. Like I would just want to learn her ways. She's an
Mhm.
awesome coach. So I think Dawn Staley. Well, South Carolina. Yeah.
Now, what type of coach do you feel that you're going to become to be? Like some coaches are very like quiet, passive. Some
hmm
coaches are very loud. They do the yelling, and then some coaches are kind of in the middle. They'll yell every here and there, but sometimes they're just chilling.
I'm definitely in the middle. I'm definitely in the middle. Sometimes I'm yelling, then sometimes I'm calm and quiet. So I'm definitely in the middle.
What has it
Sometimes
been?
I have to tell myself to calm down. Like okay, calm down. So yeah.
What has it been like? Becoming a coach and in the film room and seeing some things from other players and having to correct them. Just how does it feel to be on the other side, basically?
It's just really cool. I mean, I've always, since I've grown, I've always been kind of big in IQ. So I do watch a lot of film with our girls. I try to implement my workouts and everything to mimic kind of how the game is going for them. And so by me being able to show them and then go out on the court and practice it and then seeing them implement it to the game is really awesome.
How do you feel like you connect differently to the girls? Considering you just graduated, is it easier to connect with them? Or is it sometimes like, okay, are they listening to you because they feel like you guys are the same age? Like, how was that?
That was one thing I was worried about, me being kind of the same age as them, if they would respect me. But they did coming in, and they do. They really respect me. They understand that I'm here to do my job at the end of the day. They know that they can come to me about anything, and I listen, and I can relate to them. But they also know like when I'm serious, and so they really respect that. And so they call me Coach Kayla. um, so it's just a really respect thing, and I think it comes from our head coach because that's one thing, she laid down like, hey, y'all treat her just like you would treat me, and so that was since then I had that respect, and I really love it at the Murray State.
So currently, what has been like? What's your guys' record right now?
We are 13 and 6, 13 and 6.
Okay, that's good. What has been a really good game that you guys have played so far where you felt like they just played really good together? It was just an all around great game for them.
Probably our third conference game. We played Illinois State, and we just got off to a great start. Finished it great. I think we won 95-55 or something like that. So we just all came together, shown playing defense. That was probably one of the best, well connected that I seen them play.
So is your team now like are they full of seniors or is it kind of mixed up? Like what's the dynamic of the team?
It's kind of mixed up. We are upperclassmen led, so we do have about like 5 seniors and maybe like two, like 3 or 4 juniors, and we got like two freshmen and 3 sophomores. So it's much upper class led, but still kind of like in the mix area, I would say.
So are you guys at the top of your conference?
We just lost a game the other day, so it kind of knocked us to like fourth or fifth right now. So we're kind of in the middle, but it's 12 teams, but we're just looking to bounce back.
What are your seasonal goals becoming a coach for your first year? Like what's something you want to end the year off with?
Just being able to enjoy the process, get my first year down and kind of learn from every game, and what can I have done better, like what can I implement better to help the girls that's coming and this next season for me. So really just kind of looking over, not really dwelling on the past, but looking on like, okay, how can I get better for this next upcoming season and year for us?
So you have a year as being a grad assistant, right?
This is my first year.
Okay. And how many years do you
hmm
have?
Two. So I'll be here next year.
Oh, okay, okay,
hmm
okay. I didn't know how that worked.
hmm
So, with that, my final and my last question is what impact do you want to leave on the basketball game as a whole?
Wow. When you sent this, I've been thinking about it since. What I would like to be an impact to the basketball world is to just, like I said at the beginning, run your race. Really know that your journey is personal. It's going to be full of ups and downs and wins and losses, and but just knowing that as long as you're waking up every day giving it your best, then you're doing your job. And so that's really what I want to leave, and be able to know, like, hey, your mental health is important. Make sure you take care of it. Like I said, I'm very big on mental health. And so I just want to see everybody, do well, and everybody can. We don't have to look to the left and right and be jealous, because that's not how God wants us to be, and that's what we're not made to be. We're made to be ourselves. And so, like, that's why I said, like, really just learning and just show, like, man, like, her journey is real. Like, just want to show the basketball world that, run your race.
Well, y'all heard that. Run your race from
Hmm.
Miss Coach Kayla. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for coming on and
Thank you
talking
so
to
much.
me. It was great talking to you. I'm going to continue to be following your journey to see what you do. I'm
Thank
excited
you.
to hopefully see you become a head coach and be a Don Staley, or better, be a Kayla
Mhm.
in your own way, and people looking up to you. And I hope you reach your success and do all the things that you want to do. It's been great talking to you. You have really good energy. And
Thank
so,
you so much. It was great talking to you.
y'all, this has been the Vehemence podcast. I will be back with more videos and more episodes. This is the women's basketball segment. Please continue to keep tuning in, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will be back with more videos. Peace.
Thank you.